What's up, guys? My name is Mike Chen, also known as The Bits, and today we are going to go over two concepts in flying FPV in acro mode. And the two concepts we're going over today are coordinated turns and then managing altitude with pitch. So one of the things is flying in acro mode that everybody always has a hard time with especially when they're first starting out, is doing what they call a coordinated turn. So just flying around an object smoothly. And one of the things you'll look here is that most people tend to think that yaw will make their turns. And if you notice, what happens when you just yaw is that you actually don't change your direction of flight. All you're doing is making the camera look a little left or a little right in whichever direction you're yawing in, but at the end you still have the same trajectory. So right here we'll line up with the one tree in the far distance, and if you look, when I yaw left and then I yaw right and then we straighten out, I'm still headed for that same tree. So you have to do what they call a coordinated turn, which is using both roll and yaw at the same time. And as you can see here, just using roll doesn't actually change your direction as well. You're still flying pretty much in a straight line, but then you kind of just move the quad and right a little bit and left a little bit. So right here I'm breaking down the coordinated turn into just roll and yaw. And if you see, as I continue just to roll and then yaw and then roll, yaw, I'm making it around the object, the tree here, but I'm not smooth. Now, if I feed roll and yaw simultaneously, and you'll notice that you might have to pitch back just a tiny little bit to keep your altitude up. This is what they call a coordinated turn, and this is how any pilot would fly in acro mode around objects smoothly. So as you can see, as I'm going around the trees, I'm using roll and yaw simultaneously. And right here, since we're going to tighten up the turn a little bit, what you'll notice is that I'm actually rolling and yawing simultaneously and adding a little bit of pitching back to make sure I keep the nose up and keep the elevation. So the next concept that we're going to talk about is managing your elevation with using just pitch. So right here, I'm going to line up with the volleyball net, and I'm going to kind of cruise at it, and all you're going to see is I'm going to pitch back a little bit, and if you notice, I start gaining elevation. And as I start gaining elevation, I also start losing forward momentum. So we'll line it up again and check this out again and pay attention. As we're going at a pretty constant speed, I pitch back, and you see how I gain altitude, but I'm also losing a little bit of forward momentum as I do it. So now, if we are to fly around in a straight line, if we were just to hold altitude and we pitch back, you gain altitude, and I pitch forward, I'll gain forward momentum, but also start dropping altitude at the same time. So it's something that you just have to kind of get used to. So watch as I pitch forward and pitch back. Pay attention to the forward speed and my altitude. So every time we pitch forward, we move in a forward momentum faster, but we're also losing altitude if we don't raise the throttle. So pitch forward, and you see how we're losing altitude, and I pitch back and I start gaining altitude, but I also lose forward momentum. So this is a really critical concept to understand when you're flying any kind of quadcopter, that as you pitch forward and you don't raise the throttle, you'll start losing altitude. But if you also are cruising and holding altitude, if you pitch back, you'll gain altitude. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Drop me a comment on what you would like to learn in the future. And if you enjoyed this video, please drop me a like, give me a subscribe, and if you want, turn that notification bell on for any future videos. Alright? Thank you very much, guys, and happy flying.